Thank you very much. Hana is sending her apologies for not being here. Unfortunately, in said circumstances, but she's okay, and I will represent her as well. So gender equality and equity in science and research is regarded as a core value and fundamental right in the European Union, as stated in several documents and formal declarations. It is argued that only if we use all of our talent and diversity can we reach our full potential, and that the intersectional perspective will always inform gender equality policies. The aim of Horizon 2020 research program, as well as the consecutive Horizon Europe program, is to build effective cooperation between science and society, to recruit new talent for science, and to pair scientific excellence with social awareness and responsibility. One of the aspects of social awareness and responsibility is, of course, gender equality, but I'm preaching to the choir here, so I'll just go on. These are our partners, of course. It's a consortium of 7 research performing organizations in Europe and Israel. The objectives of Change Project, which are in line with Horizon 2020 directive, are removing barriers to the recruitment, retention, and career progression of female researchers, addressing gender imbalances in decision-making processes, and strengthening the gender dimension in research programs. The Change approach is based on the principle of closing the theory to practice gap. It is a practical project of intervention actions to promote gender equality within research performing organizations. Therefore, the core of the project is to build gender equality plan, an institutional gender equality plan. We can only highlight a few of the methods of data collecting and analysis which were used during this project, among other institutional gender benchmarking, qualitative interviews with institutional key persons and transfer agents, institutional planning and designing and implementing institutional gender equality plans, or JEPs as we call them, qualitative expert interviews in research funding organizations in 6 countries, additional questionnaires, interview and workshops, national context analysis of the gender dimension in law, economy, society, and research funding, 30 national stakeholder workshops, 5 workshops in each country, and an international workshop that was last year in Portugal, and collaboration with several national community of practices and what we call sister projects in Europe concerning the gender equality. We will now delve into the specific aspect that we at Beit Berel College, we call it BBC, not the UK BBC, but the Israeli, chose to explore and emphasize in our study. We chose to explore the national context, women in budgeted academic colleges in Israel. The academic landscape in Israel is diverse, unique, and comprises a variety of public and private universities and colleges. BBC is an academic college of education with a vast majority of women, where at first glance, gender imbalances might not be that evident and visible. Nevertheless, as we progressed in the Change project, it became clearer to us that gender gaps do exist in the college and that similar gaps may be found in other budgeted colleges as well. Therefore, we chose to use Change project and the BBC test case as a platform to explore the case of academic colleges in Israel and to compare them to universities. And when we say diversity in Israel, immediately we refer to intersectionality as well, because in Israel, you cannot be just one identity. You have multiple identities the minute you are born. So we will refer to that as well. So ever since the expansion of public colleges in Israel in the 1990s, there has been a fierce debate about their purpose and desired development. Basically, there are two approaches. According to one approach, public colleges are meant to train students to become high-skilled workers by mainly offering applied BA degree programs to all groups of society. So they should focus more on teaching and less on research. But on the other hand, on the other approach says that engaging with research is essential for high-level academic teaching, since the promotion of college lecturers is dependent on research. Still, research which is conducted in colleges is humble compared to that of universities, and many of the significant academic contributions of colleges are less acknowledged and referred to as challenging with regard to the concept of research and development. This controversy has led to the somewhat absurd situation where academic promotion in colleges is stipulated by research and not teaching. Yet college staff members lack the corresponding resources to support their research, while they are obliged to teach much more from their equivalent colleagues in universities. So you might say, what does that have to do with gender? Aha, that's where intersectionality comes into the picture. So according to the available data on 2020-2021, there are 42 budgeted academic colleges in Israel, 20 academic colleges, and 22 academic colleges of education, compared to 8 to 10 universities. Until last year, we had 8 universities, and 2 more universities are the Open University and the Reichman Private University. So we are focusing on the budgeted universities versus budgeted colleges. 34% of all BA students in the country acquire their first degree in these colleges, 25% in budgeted academic colleges, and 9% in budgeted academic colleges of education, compared to 32% of the BA student who study in one of the 8 budgeted universities, not including the Open University, as I said, and the private university, the Reichman University. The academic staff members in all ranks and employment tracks in universities are about 24,000. Budgeted academic colleges, 8,500, and academic colleges of education, 3,800. These figures clearly indicate a higher teaching overload on colleges' academic staff members compared to universities, as they have pretty much the same BA students, okay? In general, the share of women in the academic staff in budgeted colleges in Israel is higher than their share in universities. As shown in this table, they constitute about 44% in budgeted academic colleges and almost 65% in budgeted colleges of education, compared to about 40% in universities. However, they constitute only 15% of full professors in academic colleges compared to 17% in universities in senior faculty full-time employment positions, meaning the gender gap in budgeted academic colleges, and certainly in budgeted academic colleges of education, is wider than the one in universities, since there are more women, but pretty much the same percentages, even lower percentages of professors. These findings suggest the existence of systemic gender biases and barriers that hinder women's progression along the academic career tracks. In order to grasp the state of women in academic colleges in Israel, we propose the following theoretical framework. The fact that academic promotion in colleges is stipulated by scientific publications may signal what DiMaggio and Powell refer to as motifs of isomorphism between colleges and universities, meaning strong similarity, including characteristics of imitation in form and structure. But could colleges really imitate universities while lacking equal resources? And what are the implications of such approach on staff members in colleges, especially women? Ecker noted the inegalitarian practices in work organizations stem from broad social inequality in communities, including the academic community, in which inequality is perpetuated. And Crenshaw, you referred to him yeah, sorry? Oh, 5 minutes, no way. So in this respect, we regard female staff members in public colleges as facing gender gaps stemming from the intersection of their multiple identities, in addition to structural inequalities between colleges and universities. Thus, women in colleges cope with conflictual and unequal situations as holding multiple roles in addition to extensive teaching more than their university peers, work-life balance issues, lack of supportive resources for research, precarious employment conditions in many cases, as well as rigid requirements for academic promotion, more specifically engaging in research and research productivity. So, since I don't have much time to explore the BBC case, I will just briefly go to, okay, so what I wanted to do is to exemplify what I said in the BBC figures, but I assume you believe me. So I'll just skip it and go, I mean, women do more transparent jobs, et cetera, et cetera. And the fact that staff members perceive teaching as the most or the more important aspect of their work, more than research, and definitely dedicate more time to teaching than to research. And of course, their feelings and experience, personal experience regarding the stressful progression or not so much progression in the system. So to sum up the findings, major findings from both, we had a qualitative and a quantitative study, and in some major findings of both studies show that lack of understanding and knowledge of the academic promotion process, poor access to organizational information regarding promotion criteria, multiple roles and identities as a hurdle to women's availability for research and publication, lack of appropriate infrastructure, lack of occupational security, and a perceptual gap between what is determined by the institution as important for promotion, which is research, and what is perceived by staff members as important, which is teaching, which is probably why staff members, mostly women, are less engaged in research, hence are less academically promoted in the college. To conclude, it has been found that women at BBC face conflicting situations, trying to balance their multiple roles and intersecting identities with promotion requirements, which are neither fully transparent nor equally supported in terms of research funding, reduced hour of teaching to enable research, occupational security, and instrumental or well-being support. Additionally, staff members are less acknowledged or rewarded for their other substantial academic contributions as teachers, educators, creators, and professional experts. And that's an important point to discuss. The solution for these challenges, in our opinion, should address all levels of implementation, meaning direct support to staff members along intervention actions in the structural level of organization. We think that it is more important on the systemic level to enable and promote diversity through alternative and equivalent career tracks to all staff members, men and women. And here we suggest to think outside the box a bit. I mean, we have the research track, which is the mainstream, and we have the parallel tracks, which are more of the margins of academia. And we say, why? We suggest to challenge that and ask ourselves, what is more important, or what is good research? What is a good researcher? Is only basic research high factor publications in English considered good research, excellent research, or are there other contributions which are equivalent in their value and contribution to science? So we say, don't fix the women, fix the institutions. The bottom line is, our argument is that diversity is not only about enabling different kinds of individuals to enter and work their way up in systems according to a single hegemonic standard, a one-dimensional promotion track of basic research. Rather, it is about fostering multiple career paths to enable equal opportunities for all kinds of individuals to realize their potential and contribute their assets back to the system. We suggest to discuss and challenge the concepts of meritocracy, power and capital. What does excellence mean? What does it entail? Who is the ideal researcher? What is the ideal research? Can only metric-based publications of basic research be considered excellent research? We suggest to establish two compatible aspects of assessment and evaluation for socially responsible science: scientific impacts and societal impacts. Expand the assessment methods to enable alternative parameters as eligible criteria for application and promotion, in addition or instead of basic research. Include gender awareness in the assessment, evaluation, and promotion. Acknowledge transparent or invisible academic housekeeping service, like the academic administration positions. Acknowledge different modes of academic achievements, contributions, and career trajectories. Develop multiple types of funding which are suitable for diverse and multiple types of researchers and research modes. Further details can be found in the recent open access publications of Change, and we would like to very much thank our colleagues that contributed to the work-life balance online survey and personal interviews with staff members. And again, thank you on behalf of Hana. Thank you very much.